Hi everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to yet another video. I'd like to show you the PRODG development tools software for Nintendo GameCube by ASSEMblergames. ASSEMblergames is a company based out of the United Kingdom, which has been making game development software since the 80s. If you take a look here at the box, you can see the ASSEMblergames logo, which is the more modern logo. And it says Nintendo GameCube Development Tools, PRODG, the heart of games development. So, take a look at the box. And there's where they are. Bristol in the UK. So, the AMC DDH Dolphin Towers, which are featured in my earlier video. So if you're interested in seeing what this software was used with, you can follow the link to it. So, in the box, you have a very fancy box, and given the price of the software, the box should be pretty fancy. And take a look at the box here. You can open it up, and it's a very fancy box. And the center part here lifts out, and inside there is foam. And that's pretty much it. Inside the box is quite sizable PRODG manual, which has all sorts of mundane facts and stuff in here. And then it has the actual software disk itself in this little container. In this case, it is in a little insert case. And you have the software, version 3.5. It's just a CDR. If you want to take a look at how little data is actually on there, you can see for yourself. See that little inside ring right there? That's all that's on there, like 150 megs. So, let's take a look at the manual real quick. Stack this up here. The manual is probably the most expensive part of this thing to print. It's chock full of all sorts of fun goodies, and it is version specific. So, you know, for example, if you look on here on the side, it says it's version 3.5 from 2001. So, it's got all sorts of interesting stuff in here, like how to use PRODG with the Dolphin, which is what it's intended for. And this is pages and pages of resources. It's sort of like the first step you use before you wind up calling them up for support. And that's really what you're paying for, is the support. You know, if you get stumped, you can give them a call, and that's why it costs so much money, is you're really paying for the support. But a couple of these showed up on eBay and they went relatively cheap. But necessary to have a complete collection with your Dolphin unit, so I picked it up anyway. And you know, the orange box is quite attractive. They always have nice packaging, ASSEMblergames. If you have ever seen their packaging for other systems, it's always really nice packaging. So kudos to the designer if you're watching. But software tools don't really come up that often for sale, because these are subject to license. So this software pretty much doesn't own to me. Sorry, let me reword that. Doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the person who licensed it. I can own this just as a collectible. I can't own this to use. There's no license for use with this. And that's how I wound up being able to own this, because there's no license to use. It is just a collectible. So most of my dev hardware I do not attempt to use, because I'm not allowed to, unless I buy a license, and it's usually pretty outdated stuff anyway. But sometimes you get stuff like this, which is sort of still supported in its Dolphin permutation, and I just keep it as a nice orange paperweight. So that's how you get around these legal problems with owning stuff like this. So you have to respect the rules, and that way they don't come after you and give you a hard time about owning this stuff. So that's the video. PRODG for GameCube, Dolphin. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. See you next time.